Anime series are a portal to voyages, where every turn introduces fresh challenges. And at the heart of these epic tales, a main character with power that's nothing short of legendary. Within these voyages, let's uncover the 10 most overpowered main characters in adventure anime. Join us as we spotlight the mightiest of the mighty. Number 10, Campfire Cooking in Another World. Sure, we've all heard of protagonists being summoned to another world, but have you ever heard of a summon having a skill that isn't even related to battle? Well, Tsuyoshi Mukota is here to fit the spot. After being summoned to another world, and that too as a hero, Mukota manages to slip through by showing everyone that his skill is useless in combat. But little did he know that a skill that lets him cheaply purchase any food or utensil would lead him to an unfathomable encounter. And an encounter he had, because the mythical wolf Fel couldn't find itself being able to resist the aroma of Mukota's food. It grows to the point where the legendary beast ends up forging a contract with our protagonist, thus becoming his familiar. With the legendary wolf as his familiar, Mukota becomes extremely overpowered, traveling the world as an adventurer without a care in the world, all the while pleasing his stomach with his incredible cooking. Number 9, Atelier Ryza. In a world that revolves around alchemy and monsters, we have stout Ryza. Tired of staying within her hometown, she aspires to go on thrilling adventures. However, her customs prevent her from making such a move. Of course, none of that was going to stop Ryza, who escaped the Kirkin Island with her friends by her side. Soon, she's seen exploring a nearby forest, where a horde of monsters ambush her. But as fate had it, an alchemist and his bodyguard showed up in time. As the two cross eyes, unbeknownst to Ryza, her life is about to experience a drastic change. With alchemy entering the life of an ordinary girl, the twists and turns of this show had only just begun. Number 8, Am I Actually the Strongest? Imagine being left to fend for yourself the moment you're born, simply because you do not meet societal standards. It's hard, right? But the same can't be said for Zenfis Haruto. After being suddenly transported to another world, Haruto was blessed with unimaginable magical abilities. Now, despite being born as a prince in a royal family, Haruto was abandoned in the woods. This rationale was made only to save the royal family from embarrassment, as his initial talent was measured to be very low. Fortunately for Haruto, he was adopted by the Zenfis family and was showered with affection. Sadly, he did not quit his usual ways, as he still preferred to be the shut-in he was in his previous life. However, this time, he had a family to protect, and with plots stirring up in the kingdom, our protagonist can't stay in the shadows for too long. Number 7, Helk. We've all seen what happens after a Demon King is defeated, right? But have you ever experienced the demon side of the aftermath? With the Demon King finally defeated, a tournament is hosted to determine the next Demon King. Enter Helk. Expressing his undying hatred for the humans, despite being a human himself, Helk easily defeats all the competition laid in front of him. However, one of the 4 Heavenly Kings, Vamirio, isn't so sure of Helk's intentions. With the quest of uncovering Helk's intent along with the fate of the entire demon realm now resting on her shoulders, Vamirio is in for a long ride. Number 6, Kamikatsu, working for God in a godless world. Ever been told not to get anywhere near cults? Yukito Urabe understands that perfectly well. After being sacrificed for the sake of some omnipotent god, Mitama, Yukito finds himself in another world. Cursing his father for the cult he had made, our protagonist enters a world that is completely devoid of the concept of spirituality. Soon after, Yukito finds himself near a remote village he prepares himself to spend the rest of his time. However, that idea is shattered once he hears of the end-of-life system. The system suggests that a person could be executed without any repercussions on the orders of the king. And the same fate befalls one of Yukito's newly made friends, Aru Aru, and her sister Shiruriru. When all hope is lost, in a moment of desperation, Yukito prays to Mitama and everything changes. The omnipotent deity descends to the ground, decimating all that was a threat to our MC, as the adventurous journey of our protagonist only starts from here on. Number 5. Saving 8,000 gold in another world for my retirement. Getting a worthy compensation for all that you've been through can certainly be quite fulfilling. Such is the case with Mitsuha Yamano. After losing her family and not being able to get into college, our MC falls off a cliff because of an accident. However, the little fortune that's left in her life helps her to be transported to another world. But that's not all, because when she's being chased by a monster in the other world, she's again teleported. But this time, an interdimensional being is seen confronting her. It enlightens her by declaring that she can now transfer between worlds, along with the ability to heal from any injury due to her undying willingness to live. With the ability to travel between both her own world and other alternate realities, Mitsuha is shell-shocked. However, she soon collects herself, making full use of what she's been blessed with. In fact, this cheapskate starts making money by selling earth goods to the other world. With the addiction of this broken ability and her life taking a turn for the better, what isn't there that our MC can't accomplish? Number 4. Shangri-La Frontier. We're sure that we've all found games that just don't suit our taste no matter how much we want them to, right? However, Rakuro Hizutome rejects that idea, as he enjoys any and all games. Moreover, this man is obsessed with finding hideous games and proving that he's capable of beating them. On a day like any other, a new VR game called Shangri-La Frontier is released, and like a true gaming enthusiast, Hizutome wastes no time and gets right to it. Although our MC is possibly the best of the best, can he even unravel all of the secrets that this game hides? Number 3. The Aristocrat's Otherworldly Adventure, serving gods who go too far. Ever heard of keeping to yourself and not being nosy? Well, Kazuya Shina apparently has not. The dude ends up getting himself killed after he tries to protect 2 girls from a shooter. However, this does allow him to be reborn in another world as the 3rd son of a Margrave, Cain von Silford. A few years later, our protagonist has the pleasure of meeting the very gods that allowed his reincarnation. This meeting was arranged through a baptismal ceremony in a church, which ended up granting him a diabolical boost in his power with multiple cheat skills. Now seemingly untouchable, Cain now believes that he can finally live a fulfilling life, and thus he continues to go on an adventure that he never thought were possible. However, it's soon put into perspective that the gods might just have something in store for our protagonist that he knows not. Number 2, I got a cheat skill in another world and became unrivaled in the real world too. When you're at the end of your rope, it's smarter to tie a knot and hold on than to let go. Such is the case with Yuya Tenjo. After being humiliated throughout his life, even by his own family, Yuya had given up hope. Despite all the discouragement, his grandfather never gave up on him and even gave him his house before he eventually passed on. Now, Yuya had always been a kind soul and had always put everyone else before himself. However, even a kind soul can only take so much as he gets beaten to a pulp for saving a girl from some perverts. Now at his breaking point, he punches on a wall and a path opens up. The path leads to another world where Yuya is able to wield powerful weapons and get stronger by the minute. After a few hours of having fun, Yuya returns to his original world, looking forward to another tomorrow for the first time in his life. The next day, our MC wakes up just to see himself to have completely lost all of his weight, turning into a total looker. Now, with all of the factors of his daily torment gone, what kind of life would Yuya be shown to lead? How will everything change for him? Because if you wish to take our word for it, this anime does not disappoint. Number 1. Dead Mount Death Play. When has good versus evil ever ended with a one-sided victory? There's always an insufferable loss from both sides. However, in this narrative, things don't go as planned. The story starts with the corpse god Necromancer at his final breaths as a legendary battle between the legendary hero and the corpse god finally comes to its inevitable end. However, the Necromancer casts reincarnation magic right at the end, only to be reincarnated into the body of a young boy of modern-day Tokyo. Who could have expected such a terrifying end to a battle of this magnitude? Being arguably one of the best isekai so far, without a doubt, it sits atop the list of many for a reason.